Hey everyone, it's 222 here with me, Tamron, on Facebook Live, and I am super excited because tomorrow is Valentine's Day, and I'm going to be honest, every year, being a true Capricorn, the week of Valentine's always falls directly a month after my astrological birthday, which is January the 14th. So, magic, business connections, opportunities, everything that I have been working on in my winter tends to start to manifest for me in February. So I am super excited. I've literally just gotten off the phone with an amazing woman who the soul connection was so strong, we were crying. And this is the kind of week that I know I'm going to be having. So it is only Tuesday. I am super excited as I'll be traveling down to Southern Ontario again to reconnect with some of my business friends, my relationships with them, to start talking about my first live speaking event that's going to be hosted on Friday, April the 27th in Southern Ontario. So stay tuned, keep following me, keep your updates on YouTube. Go to my channel, Tamron's Place on YouTube. You'll be able to see a lot of information if you're not always following me on Facebook. And there is lots more to come. So this is the week of love, soul connections, and just I am literally going to be out and about. Starting right after this video, I'm going to be delivering little packages of handmade chocolate to my friends here in Northern Ontario who have been supporting me lately. And as I'm en route to the airport, I'm going to be dropping off little chocolate gifts to everybody. And then I'll be traveling around Southern Ontario and spending time with other family and friends as well as business associates. So I am super pumped. Again, my name is Tamron. I consider myself an inspirational storytelling business mentor, and I love to continue sharing my challenges, my breakthroughs, my aha moments, you name it, whatever it is, so that you guys, as my fellow entrepreneurs and peers, can actually get advice from me as a mentor and to start using some of the tips and the techniques that I use in order to keep moving forward as an entrepreneur. Because let's face it, it is challenging to try and stay true to yourself. All right. So each week I'm here live at 222 and I do little readings. So today I've just got a little bit of tea left here in my cup. And it's my favorite little owl cup. So I'll be arriving back home on Saturday. So there's just a little bit left in there because as I'm packing up, I'm heading out to the airport. And again, I love to share with you guys. And there's a reason why today I'm going to be talking about this combination of herbs that I use as a tea. It's called triphala powder. And what it does is it helps with the pineal gland. And this is really what the message is we're going to be talking about today. And the pineal gland is super important when we are trying to build up our intuition, to keep our pineal gland strong and healthy, because as we're eating, foods, just like I'm going to be traveling, I'm probably not going to be eating the healthiest food out there. And so toxins build up. If I'm drinking tap water, there's all kinds of crud in our tap water, and it literally affects our pineal gland. And when our pineal gland needs detoxifying, it's hard to trust your intuition, all right? So this is an amazing combination of herbs. So I recommend, if you don't know anything about it, Google it. Don't take my advice for it, but it's just one of the teas that I'd like to make. It's a combination of herbs. So, go to your local health food store, speak to somebody about it. But if you're someone that really wants to start building this muscle, then you want to start using triphala. So super excited about that. And again, as we're waiting for more people to join, we got a few people on here each week. I share with you guys whose tarot deck that I'm using. So this year, I'm using Colette Baron-Reid's deck, Wisdom of the Oracle. Okay, so super excited sharing a new deck with all of you guys. I got to get my angle right. There we go. Okay, so here we go. So the question today is, how are we going to build I'm going to say that again. How do we build a deeper sense of intimacy in your business relationships? And I'm going to be honest, again, you guys know me by now if you follow me. It is about sharing my own personal stories. So this is something that is very dear to my heart. It is a lot of what I talk about in my business mentorship programs with entrepreneurs. And really, when you want anything in your life, the thing is that it's the mirror. And this is what I've been learning from other spiritual teachers and reading books like Byron Katie and, other spiritual teachers, is that whatever we see in others is actually an indication of what we need to see in ourselves or either work on or clear within ourselves. Okay. So let's go back a step. So if we want to have deeper intimacy in our relationships, then the place we start is ourselves. Okay. So when we do this, then we can ask for what it is that we want. We can understand what our strengths are. We can balance out and ask for something as our weaknesses, or maybe we need some knowledge or some information so that we can move forward and work together with other people and to co-create our life in business, because business is about partnerships. It's just about partnerships in life. So again, this is what I see that is lacking in so many people that start off in some of my programs, is they don't have this intimate relationship with themselves. And one of the things that I'm starting to notice is that even as intuitive as a lot of people are, and myself included, my journey in the past was to reestablish a daily practice with myself so that I'm rebuilding that spiritual muscle. And what I mean by this is that sitting with myself in prayer, meditation, journaling, whatever it is, when I could sit with myself first before going out and asking for what I need or jumping on something, I needed to be clear about who I was, all right, and what is my half in that relationship. So when we do this, there's less reaction time, there's less arguments, there's less chaos in our life. Because when we're not grounded and when we're not spending time with ourselves, all of us are just like, just jumping around and spurting things and saying things that we actually don't mean. And it's harder to deal with the aftermath. So it's easier to sit with yourself first and build that connection. And on a personal note, this is what I am recognizing now because I noticed it in myself, was that as intuitive as all of us are in this new age and connecting with the energies that are on the planet, the biggest problem that I see is people still don't trust their own intuition. And this is the negative effect of how people are working in business, where they're too busy trying to read people. They're too busy spending so much time to figure out what the next guy is going to do so that they can make their little action step. And so they waste all this time focusing on how to control others when they can spend that time alone with themselves and building that connection. So when they ask, whatever it is you want to call it, God, spirit, love, soul, whatever your word is, when you begin to trust what you hear and you take actions in your life and in your business based on what you hear, that is power. And this is where I see so many people lack that power. All right. So this month, I'm going to be doing something super special. So stay tuned to the very end, because I'm going to offer a challenge for anybody that wants to join me for 28 days. And I'm going to teach you something so simple that takes me about 7 to 10 minutes every single day, that I know every single person watching this video can put at least 10 minutes out of their day to build this trust with themselves, so that you no longer feel like you're spinning your wheels in your life and in your business, all right? And you're going to come from a place of more confidence and more self-assurance so that you can use this tool to get to where you need to go in business, all right? So I'm going to ask you guys to stay tuned to the very end, because this is something that I've been doing off and on for years, but now it is part of a regular practice for me. And a lot of people come up to me and go, oh, I love your energy. Oh, I love your vibe. And it's all great. But it is a practice that I continue to give to myself first before I step out and I give myself to others. I give myself that love and that power and that spiritual connection, and then I can be of service. And I'm coming from a different place rather than a reactive place, okay? So stay tuned, because I think you guys are going to love it. So we are getting 2 card draw from Colette Baron Reid's deck. I'm like, okay, so what is Spirit? What advice is going to give us from Spirit? So if this is something that you feel that you want to add either in your personal life or in your business. So the first card that came up as the challenge came up as message in a bottle. All right, so look at this card. I'm going to put it in front of my face. All right, you see the red in there, you see the message. And so basically what this card is saying is that if it was this way, it's like, oh, the message is clear, everything's flowing. But what Spirit is saying is, whoa, hold on a minute here. Maybe there's a red flag. Maybe you need to sit with yourself and figure out what is bothering you. What is it you need to get clear on, okay? And so the action step that came up is this card here. It says, truth be told. So this is, what is the underlying truth that needs to be resolved? What is really going on that needs to be expressed so that this issue can come to fruition? Like what has been going on? So what basically Spirit is saying is, pay attention to the red flags. Trust your gut. If it doesn't feel right, then sit down and figure out, what is it that isn't right, okay? Because something needs to be resolved. And when you start doing this more frequently, you will begin to understand why this kind of stuff keeps happening in either your business or your personal life. Because what I didn't do in the past, and what I want so many people to understand from this message today, is it is always about you. We are co-creating our life. People say, oh yeah, I manifest whatever. Well, you're always manifesting. Let's face it. But what are you manifesting? Okay, so super powerful. So again, to recap is, and it may not be meditation for you. It may just be going for a walk in the park, but it still needs to be a relationship with yourself that includes nobody else but you. Because it's you need to sit with, okay? So again, I've got 3 essential oils that I'm gonna recommend in this situation. And the reason why I like to talk about essential oils with people every week on these Tea and Tarot readings is because the high-grade essential oils that are CPTG grade are so pure. And they help us on an emotional level when something comes from nature that's never been altered. Okay, so it affects us emotionally because each essential oil gets into our blood, and when it goes through our blood, it gets into all the different organs, and it affects our brain as well. Okay, so that's why people feel different, and you can create a state change by using a pure high-grade essential oil, whether you put them in a roller ball or you put them in a diffuser or however you want to use them. You wear them topically. That's my favorite way of using them. And you know what? You can shift your emotional energy into the state that you want to be so that you can start co-creating what it is that you want, okay? But again, how are we going to figure that out if you don't sit with yourself? And how are you going to decide what is the negative emotion that you're feeling right now that you want to unleash or to let go of? Okay, so if this is what you're lacking, then you're lacking it because of your own practice. Okay, and you can change it, you can enhance it. So the 3 essential oils that I would recommend is using something like lavender, because lavender is like the oil of communication, because it's so soothing and calming. When the brain calms down and we physically start to calm down, we can actually hear what's going on. Because when we're so busy all the time, we don't actually hear. Okay, so for me, way back when, when I first started meditating, all right, was back in 2000. And I'm going to be honest, a lot of people that follow me know my story. I was suicidal, suffering from severe depression and anxiety. And I actually signed up for a course, and I didn't even know what I signed up for. But I wound up in this group where it was learning about energy work and about meditation. And so they said, you know, have you ever meditated? I'm like, no. And they're like, well, this is our first weekend class. You know, tomorrow when you show up first thing in the morning, we're going to put you in a lotus position. We're going to teach you, and we're going to guide you through a guided meditation. And all you do is listen. And all I did was cry through the whole thing. I had never sat with myself to be connected. And that was my initial journey into understanding the power of meditation, because the lady was so intuitive. She looked at me and she could see my aura, and, you know, my emotional body was such a mess. And she goes, most people have like little thoughts. So if you see like the clock behind me, I'm going to bounce this way. That's like a thought. It's like a cartoon, right? So when you have a thought, you have this little blip, blip on top of your head. Which way am I going? On top of your head. It's like a thought, right? But she goes, most people just have little thoughts, you know, things they got to organize. She goes, you don't have thoughts. She goes, you literally have movies playing, and it's these thoughts that are going around and around and around, and you got about 1 million of them. So she said to me, do you get headaches? I'm like, no. She goes, I can't believe you don't get headaches. And I'm like, no, I don't get headaches. So anyways, the reason why I'm sharing this with you is because I don't have those movies playing anymore. You know, sometimes when something comes up for me, I sit with myself and I have to ask myself, okay, what's going on with me that I need to understand? Okay. So very powerful. Lavender can help you get there. Okay, can calm you and soothe you, all right, so that you can enjoy that time with yourself, because this doesn't have to be negative. The other essential oil that I would recommend in this situation be something like vetiver, because vetiver is very grounding, all right, and it's a root. It comes from a root, so it literally pulls your energy down. So now that you're calm, you can actually ground and you can talk to yourself, all right? And so you feel more connected to you and to the earth and to mother energies and to some of the beautiful things that are here on this planet. And the other essential oil I would recommend is frankincense. And what frankincense does is it helps to open the higher chakras. It helps to open the pineal gland so that when you hear stuff, you trust it, because that is the next step. Not only do you need to listen, but you need to trust what you hear, because spirit has been trying to guide you, but being so busy all the time, you don't hear it, all right? So frankincense is actually my all-time favorite essential oil that I use every single day, because in my past, whenever I heard things, when I was going through challenges, I didn't trust it, all right? I pushed it aside. All right, so now when I hear something, when I hear that or feel that red flag, it's like I need to sit and I need to figure out what's going on. So I guarantee these 3 essential oils will help you. So again, as promised at the beginning of the video, what if this is something that you feel you want to enhance that will help build your business or just help you in your everyday life? What I am offering is a challenge that we're going to do for 28 days, and it's going to start on Monday, February the 19th, because as a member of Tamaron's Place, my members, I suggest this to my members, all right? And so what I've noticed is that people who do this practice for 1 month and they spend 10 minutes a day, I start to see calmness. I start to see easier conversations. I start to see how things flow into their life, how when they write something down on day 1, by the end of day 28, they've actually manifested it. So it's about putting the physical body into a practice, because what I learned is that not only do we have to know what it is that we want, but in order to make it create it in the physical world, we have to move the physical body as well, because you can't have one without without the other. You can't just hope and wish for something to happen. It has to materialize in the physical world. So it's a super, super simple practice that I found due to a book that I read many years ago when I was a radio host and doing research. And I have been so drawn to that practice, and I used it off and on. But once I got into a regular practice, I love it. And I encourage young people to do it. They have a lot of fun with it. It's very easy. It's not strenuous. It's an actual yoga practice, and it's very simple. So if you are interested, please send me a private message, send me a comment, because we're going to be gathering together as a group. You can join me for free. And if whatever it is that you asked for, because I'm going to be asking people to write down what they want to manifest by the end of the 28 days. And if it manifests and you share it with the group, all right, you're going to win a prize. And you can win a 1-year membership at Tamron's Place, because it's $36 a month to be a member. Or you can get, if you don't want to be one of my members, I will give you a free private tea and tarot reading. And that is a value of $300 as well when it's privately over the Zoom call. All right, so you guys have your choice. So I encourage you to check this out. It is a lot of fun. And I know that once you start doing this practice, you are actually going to be addicted to something that's healthy and is helping you to move through some of the challenges in your life. Okay, so again, my name is Tamron. If you could please go to my YouTube channel under Tamron's Place, subscribe for me so that I can get my subscriptions up. So I'd really appreciate that, because a lot of these videos wind up on YouTube so people can share them with their friends, or they can rewatch something. So I encourage you to do that. And remember to come back next week, Tuesday, here at 222 for another free tea and tarot reading with me, Tamron, an inspirational storytelling business mentor. Cheers for now. Bye-bye.